Leaving Jerusalem on our way to Beit She'an in the Galilee, traveling the road from Jerusalem to Jericho to begin with. Then up the Jordan Valley toward Galilee. Beit She'an is now a national park. When we arrive and look over the ruins, I'm indeed taken back 2,000 years. Though my first glimpse of it instantly reminded me of our family visit to Amman in Jordan in the 80s, when we visited the ruins of another of the cities of the Decapolis, Jerash, north of Amman. The model at the entrance showing what it would have looked like in its prime. It was a major city of the Roman Decapolis, the 10 cities, and there's an amphitheater, a hippodrome, Roman baths, even shops, and an agora, an open marketplace. The restoration is impressive, and it's a pleasure to walk around, soaking in history. In Hebrew, Bet means house, and She'an means rest. But this city's 6,000-year-old history of conquests, wars, and earthquakes certainly makes us question the name. It's not exactly been a house of rest. Not only is this a Roman historical site, but it also featured in biblical history. In the year 1004 BC, at nearby Mount Gilboa, the Philistines attacked Israel, and King Saul, together with 3 of his sons, died in battle. Then, according to the Bible in 1 Samuel 31, they fastened his body to the wall of Beit She'an on top of this tell. It was part of Manasseh's share of the land during Joshua's time. The location is ideal for a city, with all important springs nearby and also the River Jordan to the east. Located along the famous trade route, the Via Maris, and only 17 miles from the Sea of Galilee. When the Romans rebuilt the city, they didn't build it on the ruins of the tell of the old city, but below it. The amphitheater is said to have accommodated 7,000. Only the lowermost tier of seating, out of 3, survives intact. Nowadays, about 2,000 seats are still there. The acoustics in these theaters was phenomenal. Somebody standing on the stage could clearly be heard throughout the theater. This was here, intact, at the time of Jesus, and was actually on the way to Jerusalem from Galilee. Perhaps a group of 13 once walked this way. The Bible in Matthew 4:25 even mentions that people from here followed Jesus, and in later years it became a Christian center with many churches here. The tell in the distance, the Cardo, Palladium Road, surrounded by columns. This was the heart of the city. It is imposing, grandiose, monumental. What occasions this place must have hosted, as thousands walked through these gates and sat in these seats, marveling at the spectacles below. The Romans loved spectacles, and the chance to escape reality for a few hours was a distraction from everyday life. The live entertainment history thus was huge in Roman culture, and the shows would have employed horses, animals, musicians, singers and dancers, as well as the gladiators and bloody spectacles, which to us today cause revulsion. I suppose in modern times, people go to cinemas and watch similar bloodthirsty events, sex and violence, killing, cruelty, etc. Are these the equivalent of ancient cinema seats? Here's the foyer. Elaborate, striking architecture and spectacles was also Rome's way of showing off to their conquered regions how advanced and civilized they were. This was the centerpiece. It's impressive, and we can see close up the amazing building techniques. This is a special VIP box. We then strolled up the Cardo, a name derived from Greek cardia, the heart. It was generally lined with shops and vendors and was the hub of economic life. It would be on a north-south direction. The Agra, the open marketplace, and shops lined the Cardo. The Agra was not just a place for shopping, but a meeting place, where debates would have taken place. Though destroyed by an earthquake in the 8th century, it's slowly being restored. And some restoration gives insight into what it would have looked like 2,000 years ago. So we walked up the Cardo, the marketplace alongside. These are the remains of the shops. High Street Beit She'an. There would have been 1 or 2 columns inside to support the roof. The mosaics on the Cardo still intact. More shops. Back in the day, this would have been a hive of activity. Restoration takes time, and great care is taken to be authentic and accurate. But seeing the state of the ruins is nevertheless fascinating. To see ruins as they were discovered is also interesting. Untouched for centuries, all having a story to tell. Here perhaps some storage vats. I wonder what they contained. The bathhouse. The bathhouse was not just a place for bathing, but socializing as well. The water would be heated by fire and then channeled into the caldarium, the hot bathing room. A wooden floor would be laid above these supports, and the steam would rise into the room. When asked by a foreigner why he bathed once a day, a Roman emperor is said to have replied, "Because I don't have time to bathe twice a day." Cartoons here depict life in the bathhouse. It was a place to chat and discuss. But political views and ideas were also shared. One could get a manicure and a haircut, even a massage. Many accessories were discovered here. Nearby, some interesting mosaics. One depicting the sacrifice of Isaac and signs of the zodiac. The synagogue here is recognized as a Samaritan synagogue because of the mosaic. Indeed, an intriguing visit. We then moved on to another biblical site.